Hello, Helena. I'm Emily McVeigh, Executive Director of the United Way of the Lewis and Clark area. I'm here this week with United Way's Partner Spotlight with Trista Venata from AWARE's Early Childcare, Early Head Start program. So you guys are our newest partner members. Welcome to the United Way family.
Thank you.
It's great to have you guys. But AWARE is great big. They have services all over the state of Montana. So before we talk about Early Head Start, tell me a little bit more about AWARE as a whole.
Yeah, so AWARE started in Anaconda. It actually stands for Anaconda Work and Residential Enterprises, which doesn't tell us much about the services we provide, but it did start in Anaconda, really supporting children who had developmentally needs, right? Some developmental needs. And it grew into youth mental health programs. We have group homes across the state of Montana. We provide adult services. We have the Center of Excellence, which is going to be a private school here soon. We have so many services that just really support those with developmental needs and mental health supports within the different communities.
And Early Head Start is a newer program to AWARE. When did AWARE start doing Early Head Start?
So late 90s, we had our very first center in Butte, and it's still there today.
So just new to Helena, newish to Helena.
Newish to Helena, yep. We have a few centers across the state, but in the 90s we had that one standalone center that's been going strong since then. About 7 years ago, we got a grant to start a childcare partnership program, which meant that Early Head Start could partner with already licensed facilities in communities. So here in Helena, we have a wonderful partner, Carrie Shirley, and her husband, Chris, and they own Babies and Beyond. And so they're an already licensed childcare program that we partner with. And so there's Early Head Start slots in her facility. We also have partners in Butte and Whitehall. So Shelly Fisher in Butte and Christy in Whitehall.
Great.
Yeah.
Are you looking for more daycares to partner with that kind of program?
Yeah. There's a lot of benefits to partnering with Early Head Start. We have, of course, some incentive monies that kind of help with startup or to kind of meet those performance standards that Head Start has. But then, like all of our Early Head Start families, they get family advocacy, which helps families create goals, meet goals. They get to get connected to community resources that they might need. They even get to have support in being in their child's education. So they get to kind of learn about what lesson plans are happening and how they can support that learning even in the home.
Great. And you were talking about the support you get, but you guys go before birth even, so you help people in their pregnancies. What does that look like? What kind of supports do you provide the pregnant women, families, children? It's kind of all encompassing up to the age of Three.
Yeah, so Early Head Start is 0 to 3. And so for those women that are pregnant, we can just help them get ready to welcome that new wonderful child into the world. Education-based planning for all of our families. Like I said, we have family advocacy. We have mental health consultants on staff for if there's education that needs to be had or support that's needed. As consultants, we support families through maybe learning about parent-child interaction or even development, or if there's crises happening in the home, we can be there to support or even connect them to mental health services within the community along with their family advocate.
Great. Who's eligible to apply for Early Head Start?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's a lot of eligibility kind of variables here, but the best way to find out if you're eligible is to go to our website, www.aware-inc.org, and click on our early childhood services.
Is it income-based?
It is income-based, but there's some other pieces there that even if you're over income, there's some possibilities that we can look at depending on the needs of the child.
Okay, because we talk a lot about that, people that are just right there at the top and needing the resources but just barely not qualifying, so we can still potentially get people in the door.
Absolutely. Right. Yep. The best way to do it is just apply, and then our enrollment specialist, Corey Brzezinski, will get a hold of the family and kind of walk them through all of those options. And
we all know that childcare is incredibly expensive, especially for the under twos. Yes. What is the cost of Early Head Start?
Nothing.
Great.
It does not cost the family anything. We also accept the Best Beginnings Scholarship, and so that is an added bonus for families and for us as a child care to have that Montana child care stipend.
And they don't have to qualify for Best Beginnings grant to get Early Head Start. They are two separate qualifications.
That's right, Emily. Yep, that's right. But we do accept it if they have it, or we can help them apply for it if they so choose.
Okay. So there's no co-pays involved, or?
Well, it just depends on that application. If the Best Beginning says there's a $10 copay, then we'll work with the family the best we can to see if that's feasible. If it's not, then we find other resources.
Okay. Where do you offer early Head Start?
So we have centers here in Helena, as we said, new to Helena, but in Butte that's where our kind of first center was opened. But now we have a center open in Belgrade, and we have an amazing large center open in Billings.
Great. And where are you located here?
I'm here in Helena behind the ice rink on 330 Lola Street.
The old Elks.
The old Elks building, yes.
For those of us that have been around a long time.
It looks much different.
It sure does.
It looks much different, yes.
Yeah, I actually had my wedding reception there when it was the Elks, and I went in there to do the tour, and I was like, I wouldn't know I was in the same place. So
Yes.
Very amazing childcare center though. Yeah. How does one enroll or apply for early Head Start?
The best way to apply, like I said, is to go on our website and fill out the online application. And from there, an enrollment specialist will get a hold of the family. You can always call the Early Head Start Center as well and talk with our admin assistant, Mindy, who would be more than happy to redirect or to support families in getting the information that they need.
So if somebody had trouble getting out to the Lola Street location, could they swing by your Steamboat Block location and get assistance there? I know transportation is sometimes difficult in Helena.
It is difficult. So yes, we run our adult services there. So we have our PACT team and then our FACT team, which is a whole nother video segment for you and I. And they can give directions or offer a phone number, absolutely, if they want to stop in there. They're not going to know much about our program, as we're kind of specialists in our own little areas.
Okay, all right. Just good to know, because people might just see the Aware sign and say, oh, I can go get help here.
Yeah.
But they would probably get redirected.
They would probably get redirected.
But some help.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you looking to hire people? Are you looking for volunteers?
Yes, we're looking for both. We are looking for early childhood educators, or brain builders, as I like to call them, because there's so much of the brain development that happens at this age. And so we are absolutely looking for teachers. And for those of you out there, you get really good benefits. We have good fringe. We get great holiday time as well. You get lots of supports, and you don't have to have your bachelor's degree. We can help you get some of that education along the way too. And volunteers, absolutely. I mean, I love saying to people, do you want to come rock some babies? Or maybe help scratch some backs as it's
Who would
nap
say no
time.
to that?
Right? Yeah, it's very relaxing. Yes, so volunteers are absolutely welcomed. And teachers, if you are interested in early education, get a hold of us.
Yeah, because I mean, we were talking before the show started. We are what they call a childcare desert, Montana as a whole.
Yes.
Helena is not absent from that. And really, you guys have a couple of classrooms you could open if you had more staff. And so the staffing issue that we're seeing across the board in all areas of business, definitely affecting the childcare world.
Yeah, which then also impacts the workforce, right? So it's kind of a rock and a hard place. There's some people that need to find work but can't because they don't have childcare. And so if we can hire more teachers, we can open more classrooms, and we can support our community's workforce for sure.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've had this conversation this week of, we know somebody who would go back to work as a CPA, as a teacher, as a whatever, but they can't find childcare. And so if we can get childcare up and running again in a better way, we have amazing childcare in this community, just not enough.
Yes. Yeah, not enough. And it's our mission to help fill that gap for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Aware's mission is helping people live independent lives. And we know in today's climate, we have to have one, maybe two working parents, right, to kind of make ends meet. And so whatever we can do to help support the families in our community.
Yeah, well, cost of housing, and again, another video segment for another time. Tell me what makes Aware stand apart from other organizations that do similar work.
Oh, that's such a great question. So I've worked for this company for 15 years, and a lot of people will say, why have you stayed so long? And I love it when they ask me that question, and my response is the people. We have such great, passionate workers at Aware, and the mission. I think we really stand for wanting to help people live independently, and whether that would be an adult who has some mental health pieces that they need support in order to be successful, or a new mom who's trying to get a job and just needs high quality childcare, right? So we're supporting all over in the spectrum of needs there. And with Early Head Start, one of the things that sets us apart is that we're all across the state. They have 2 mental health consultants on staff full time, which is not heard of very often for Early Head Start or Head Starts, which just brings a whole nother level of support for families in the community.
And that would be a question, because I think most people would think of Rocky Mountain Development Council's Head Start program when they think of Head Start. So do you guys collaborate with them? You help move kids in that direction?
Yeah.
How do you guys work together?
Yeah, so our family advocates do a great job at communicating when kids are transitioning from our program to their program. We try to work together to make sure that there's no disruption in services. There's some different kind of qualifications or start times that are there. So we're working some of that out, but all of our kids that turn 3 have to have what's called a transition plan. So whether they go to Head Start or any other childcare in our community, we're working with the family to make sure that that's a smooth transition.
Great, yeah. Always partnering, nonprofits always working together in Helena.
Yeah, well, and it takes a village, especially when we're talking about children.
Absolutely.
It takes a village, yeah.
So how does somebody get a hold of AWARE, or you, or the Early Child Head Start program?
Yeah, I think our website will have all of the numbers for all of the different communities. You can call me at the Lola Center. I don't know that number right off the top of my head.
You never call yourself,
right? No, I don't. And my cell phone's always in my pocket. But yeah, if they go to our website, all of our contact information is on there. They can call us or email us, whatever feels most comfortable, and we'll get back to them as soon as we can.
And I will say, you guys have a great website. For as much as you do, it is actually easy to find like the Helena specific things that you're looking for. So,
oh, that's so great to hear.
Yeah, whoever runs your website, let them know.
Miss Jackie.
Yeah, it's sometimes when it's such a huge organization, you get lost in the mud, and you can actually find all the things from Helena specifically very easily. So that's very nice.
Yes, they worked really hard on it being user friendly, and the online application is such a wonderful feature. Before that, we were doing paper applications, right? So families would have to come in, or we would have to meet them in their home, and this just allows you can apply just right from your phone.
Yeah, that's great. Or if people don't have internet access, they can still get the paper copies. So that's we still run into that from time to time. People that struggle with computer access or internet access. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the end of our questions. Is there anything we missed that you can think of? Do you guys ever need donations besides money, of course, like everybody?
Yeah, sure.
Any supplies or any kind?
Yes. I mean, we are working with families in need, and so those donations can be a range of supplies for sure. One thing that I think would be super helpful is just volunteers. We have a playground that needs to be put together, and that's, I think, the biggest barrier there is time. And so if there's any volunteers that might want to come and help us put that playground together, that would be helpful. Or volunteers just in the center. I think people are our greatest asset for sure, and we would love to welcome the community into the center.
Yeah, and I believe you have your volunteers options posted on our Volunteer Helena site, but not the playground. I don't think we have the playground project on our Volunteer Helena website, so we'll get that posted.
Let's get that on
and,
there.
And people can find that information, because that's sort of a one-time tangible project that people can really get behind.
Yeah, and would make such a difference for the kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's one of those that you dream about at night, needing to get done and don't have the time to do because, as you said, you were working in the classroom this morning. So yeah, getting pulled from one thing to the other.
Yeah, there's lots to do.
Yeah. There's always lots to do. Great. Any other last-minute comments before we sign off?
I don't think so. We covered a lot today in a short period of time.
Yep, it's a good intro to AWARE Early Head Start. Thank you for partnering up with United Way and letting Helena know about what you're doing.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Helena. We will see you again next week.